Well, hey, all artist friends, welcome back to Miss Raga's Art Room. Here we are. Time to apply what we've learned from our letter practice to our actual project. So you are required, let's get our requirement sheet out, to have at least one letter in 2-point perspective. Now, a neat thing I've done to help everybody out is I know we've only practiced in E together. You can do any letter, number if you felt adventurous, okay, if you'd like, in the English alphabet. Okay, so here we are. I suppose you could do a different letter in a different alphabet that you know too, Cyrillic or whatnot. But all I have for my sample sheets are English letters, our 26 characters. Okay, so here they are. I've got some guides for you to help you out. Now, do not just take this sheet and go like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just trace it, right? No, your vanishing points aren't going to line up. Tracing it won't work. But there's a visual guide to help you kind of figure out the space in which this letter is going to be, 2-point perspective. And you can see I've done above, on, and below the horizon line, as well as rotated whether it's on vanishing point A or vanishing point B side, okay, to kind of help you out. So I'm going to tackle doing, it looks like I've got a free space for a letter down here. Let's do something a little bit more complicated. Let's just start with an A. I'll add a simple A onto my box. I'm going to let it overlap some of what's happening here. Okay, so let's put the edge of my A here, and I'm going to have the face going this way. So once again, I'm going to start, oh, look, it would help too if I unfolded my wings that have my vanishing point. Would that make drawing a little bit easier, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's get that letter on there. I'm going to start by, yeah, we'll line it up here. And we're going to put the top of my A, this will be my box frame, make it a pretty tall A. And we're going to go from bottom of the line, opposite vanishing point. I'm going to stick to the vanishing point B side for this one. You know, it was suggested to me by a student at one point, like, hey, you should do video guides for like all the letters. And I was like, whoa, that's going to take me a while. I mean, it's a good idea, don't get me wrong. It's just probably going to take me a little bit of time to get it done, right? Okay, here we go. So here's my guide box for figuring out where to put those letters in space. Right, it's a little check to myself to make sure that my perspective is correct. And I'm not going to erase anything yet. I'm going to just put in this guide box to get started. And then I'll erase what I don't need later on. Okay, there it is. First, I'm going to draw it in the face of the A. So now this is my exception to all diagonals are orthogonals, is sometimes when we're doing this letter work, it's going to just stay on the face of the box. Okay, but these diagonals will not be going to orthogonals. So let's just define the outside edge of that A on the face of the box here. There we go. And I'm also going to give it a little bit of thickness here. So let's give those letters, or the arms of this A, a little bit of dimension. I'm going to keep these diagonals parallel to each other. There we go. So if you can kind of picture it this way, here are the arms of my A in space. Adjust that again a little bit, because I erased a bit too much. Okay, and then let's also put in that little bridge, that little bar. On the base there. All right, and there is the face of my A going in front of this box. Okay, now let's put in the side of this A as well as its top. So at the top I can see is going back in space to vanishing point A here. So there's the top ledge of this box. okay? And then I also will see from that top ledge, the outside leg of this A, where it ends from the bottom, okay? And now I'll erase where this A overlaps that cutout box behind it, but also the parts of the box now that I don't need. And there's my A. Oh, I almost forgot. There's my A floating in space, except for, see, it's easy when you get to the more complex shapes. I need the top side of that little ledge. Whew, now we're good. Okay, now I can erase the rest of where this box is being covered by the letter A, as well as any of my remaining guidelines from the box I don't need. Oh my goodness, and I keep forgetting things, along with the bottom underside of this little foot too. My goodness. Boy, I keep missing spots. There we go. See, letters are tricky. They really require you to think, what would this look like three-dimensionally in space? Perspective is a think and drawn. You really got to think about, what would I actually be seeing? Okay, and anywhere you accidentally erased a little bit too much, like I can see here, I kind of lost top edge. Go ahead and redefine. Voila! And there we go. I've got my letter requirements. I've got my 2-point perspective letter A, okay, beautifully sitting there in space. I've got my boxes, 2 above, 2 on, 2 below. I've got cutouts. All right, time to add our last required element into our project, which is the mannequin. So, artist friends, please join me in the next video.